Alright, so it's Mr. Farina here. I am literally at Disneyland working on some math with you guys. Shows you how important this math is to me, right? I'm waiting in line, so I figured I could answer some math questions real quick off the study guide. So number 7 says, of all the 6th grade students in the school, 80 students wear glasses. Select whether each expression could represent the number of 6th graders who wear glasses. So then we have these things here, right? It says 1/3 of 140 students, 2/5 of 200 students, 5/8 of 400. So we have to think which ones are equal to 80. So all we have to do is whenever we see the word of, I'm going to write it in big and in red. So if you see the word of, that equals multiplication. So whenever you see the word of, it means multiplication. So on the first one, we see 1/3 of, so I'm going to say of, which is multiplication, 140. Now my 140 is a whole number, so to make it a fraction, I just put it over 1. And what I can do now is multiply across. So if I multiply across, let me see here, I'm going to move to the side a little bit. I get 140 over 3, right? Which means I have to go in and out and solve for my answer. So 3 goes into 4 times, I get 12. Now I'm going to subtract. Move this up a little bit. So I have my 2. I'm going to bring down my 0. Now 3 goes into 20. How many times? Hopefully you guys had 6. You get 18, 2. So I have 46 and 2/3 of my fraction, right? All I did is I brought my numerator up here, and I brought my divider as my denominator. Jesus, I couldn't say the word. So I have 46 and 2/3. So does that equal 80? It does not, right? So let me get rid of all this stuff. Oh. So I'm gonna mark no, right? This is a no. So now we're gonna do it again. So 2/5 of, let me just times 200. I'm gonna put over 1 because we know when there's a whole number we can put over 1 to turn it into a fraction. So you can either multiply across, and you're gonna get multiply across there, multiply across here. So 2 times 200 is 400. Oh. And 5 times 1 is 5. Then you do your in and out and figure it out. Or you could have done this. So let me get rid of some of this stuff real quick. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let me get rid of, 1 sec. So what I have been teaching some of you guys is that you can cross multiply. So if you see numbers that are across from each other and they go into each other, kind of like greatest common factor, I can cross multiply. So I know 5 can go into 200 because it ends in a 0, right? See that 0 right here? That means it's divisible by 5. That means I can divide by this by 5. So 5 divided by 5 equals 1. And I can divide this by 5. So 200 divided by 5 is, I don't know. Let's figure that out just real quick. This goes in 4 times. 0, bring down my 0. 5 goes into 0, 0 times. So that's going to equal 40. Okay? So now I can multiply across. So now I have, instead of 200, I have 40. So I have 2 times 40, which is 80. Whoa. Over 1 times 1 is 1. So that means I have 80 over 1. And that's my answer, because 80 simplified it, this is just 80. I know I ran out of room, but my answer is yes. So you're going to do the same thing for the next two. And that's how you solve these answers. You're just going to multiply the fractions. Hopefully you guys simplify it. It makes it quicker. All right, number 7 should be familiar to you guys because it's just talking about GCF. So that means, I know like it says, what is the GCF, right, of 24 and 60? So you can do it a couple different ways that we've talked about in class. You can do the little T's, where you have 24 here, and then you have 60 in this one, and you try to solve, I have 1 in 24, and 2 times 12, and 3 times 8, and 4 times 6, right? 5 times nothing, and then 6 times 4, but it's already, I have 6 here already, so I don't have to go any further. You can do the same thing for 60. So let me do it that way. I have 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times, I know 5 goes in there, I'm trying to think how many times. Let's see here, 6 divided by 5. There you go, 5 times 12. I'm trying to erase this, okay. I'm trying to erase my work over here. And then we have 6 times 10. 7 doesn't go in there, 8 doesn't go in there, 9 doesn't go in there, and 10 we already have over here, so we can stop. So then we're just gonna find our common factors, right? Obviously 1 is always gonna be in there, 2, 3, 4, 5's on this side but not on this side, 6 is here and 6 is here, 8's on this side but not on that side, 12's on this side and on this side, and 24 is only on this side. So what's the biggest number I have? Well, my GCF equals 12. So that's one way to do it. Now the way I like to do it, and the way I prefer to do it, is this way. And that's when I do this. So again, the way I like to do it is I like to do a little ladder method. So I put my numbers in here, right? 24 and 60. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna divide by 2, because I know both these numbers are even, so I can divide them by 2. 24 divided by 2 equals 12. 60 divided by 2 equals 30. And now I'm going to go here. I'm going to do it again. Can I divide by 2? Sure. I could have divided by 6 as well, but I'm just going to keep doing 2 because that's the easiest number I can think of. And I have 6 here, and this becomes 15. Now can I divide by 2 here? I can do that on the 6, but not the 15, right? Because it's an odd number. It's not going to give me a whole number. Or, yeah, a whole number. So I go to 3. What about 3? Oh yeah, I can divide both these by 3. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And 15 divided by 3 equals 5. And now I get to my prime numbers, and 2 doesn't go into 5, so I know I'm going to be done. So if I'm doing my GCF, which is what it's asking for, I'm just going to multiply these 3 numbers on the left. So I have 2 times 2 times 3. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now times 3 equals 12. So I think it's faster and more accurate when I do that, because sometimes you overlook a number. GCF is 12. Sometimes you overlook a number and you don't realize that it is like in the T chart, sometimes you notice one on one side but don't notice on the other, or you don't list all the factors like you're supposed to. So this is a safer way to do it, I think. All right. I'm skipping ahead a little bit because this is the LCM now, and I figured we could talk about that because I just talked about GCF. So like I said, I like doing the ladder method. So I have 12 and 20, put it in my ladder. And then I'm going to think, what numbers could divide both these by? 2, right? So I get 6 and 10. And I can divide by 2 again. So I'm going to divide by 2 here. I get 3 and 5. Now 3 doesn't go into 5. I can't divide by 1, 2, or 3, right? So that means I'm basically done. This is basically my prime numbers here. So what I'm going to do when I multiply these numbers, when I'm looking for LCM, because I'm not looking for GCF this time, I'm going to write it in blue for you guys. Is I get my whole big L right here. See this big L? See how it looks like an L? So I'm going to multiply all of them. I'm going to do 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now I have times 3 times 5, right? 4 times 3 is 12 times 5. Now I have 12 times 5, and that equals 60. And so my LCM is 60. All right. Whoa. 60. So that is my answer. I can't write over here on the left, guys. Sorry. For this last one, my answer is LCM equals 60. So I hope you guys figure out how that works. I really do enjoy using the big L or ladder method. Multiply all those across. All right, I think that's my help for today while I'm at Disneyland. I'm currently in a loop on the Incredicoaster, so that was crazy that I did a LCM question while riding the roller coaster. Pretty sweet. All right, have a good one, guys. Good luck with this.